First, I want to talk about priorities of this committee. This committee, I believe, in the year 2021 has had a consistent pattern of focusing on partisan priorities of Democrats at the expense of fulfilling our responsibility to the American people. When it comes to immigration, we've had not one, not two, but 3 hearings on amnesty. That clearly is the partisan priority of President Biden and Democrats in the Senate. We've had not a single hearing on the disaster, the catastrophe that is unfolding on the southern border. This week, news broke that was particularly chilling. The mayor of McAllen, Texas, announced that in the last 6 months, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have released over 7,000 illegal immigrants into McAllen who were COVID positive. The mayor further announced that last week, in 1 week alone, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris released 1,500 illegal immigrants into McAllen who were COVID positive. Now, to put this in perspective, the population of the city of McAllen in 2019 was 141,000 people. 7,000 illegal immigrants, all COVID positive, is roughly 5% of the population of that city. A disaster in South Texas. And at least to date, the answer from congressional Democrats is that nobody cares. The Biden administration is releasing thousands upon thousands of illegal aliens with COVID into communities, spreading the pandemic, and this committee's too busy holding hearings on amnesty to even hear testimony. Mr. Chairman, I would ask you to bring the mayor of McAllen up here to testify about the consequences in that community on the Rio Grande border of the Biden administration releasing thousands upon thousands of illegal immigrants who are COVID positive. It is wildly irresponsible, and it's dangerous. Secondly, in terms of priorities, the nomination of David Chipman raises very serious concerns because his record is that of someone with an extreme gun control agenda. Indeed, he argued that Senate Democrats' proposals to ban guns don't go nearly far enough, that he wants to go much further than, for example, Senator Feinstein's bill. He's entitled to those views, but those views are out of step with the mainstream of America. Since his hearing, even more disturbing information has come to light, in particular, 2 different sets of allegations. One, an article from The Reload, July 28, 2021, entitled, "ATF Agents Corroborate Existence of Racial Complaint Against Biden Director Nominee, Fear Reprisals, and Hit to Agency Effectiveness." And the article says, multiple ATF sources back up the existence of a complaint alleging President Biden's nominee to lead the ATF, David Chipman, made racist comments during his previous stint at the agency. The article goes on to quote one of those ATF agents, quote, "He made some comments that he was surprised by the number of African Americans who have made it onto a specific promotional list. So his insinuation was that they had to have cheated, which is kind of despicable." The article further quotes an ATF agent as saying, quote, "He left Detroit because of that. He did not leave Detroit on the best of terms. His reputation was that he was not nice to people." These are troubling allegations, and yet the chairman of this committee has said it's not worth the committee's time to have a hearing and to let Mr. Chipman answer these allegations. Apparently, Senate Democrats do not care if he made racist comments in his role in office as a supervisor. They do not care if he created a racially discriminatory and hostile environment by making racist comments. Now, he may have a defense on this, but if he does, we don't know it because this committee can't be bothered to have a hearing and ask him. So what this committee is saying is that allegations of racism, if you're a partisan Democrat, no problem at all. Not even worth asking about. Secondly, another story that is broken. This is from a story in Fox News on August 5th, 2021, entitled Biden ATF nominee Chipman failed to disclose Chinese state TV hit used as propaganda by the communist state. And it explains that, quote, President Biden's nominee to head the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives failed to disclose to the Senate a media appearance on Chinese state TV, which may have been used as propaganda by the communist state to cover up a mass stabbing of children. Now, the chairman defended that as saying, well, other people have gone on state TV, perhaps. Did Mr. Chipman know that he was going on a communist propaganda show? Did he know that it would be used as propaganda to tear down America? Did he know that it would be used as propaganda to cover up the atrocities in communist China? We don't know. We don't know because this committee hadn't had the chance to answer them, and what the committee leadership is saying is they don't care. Doesn't matter. Truth doesn't matter. We got a partisan agenda to do. Don't bother us with actually doing our jobs. And so I would ask unanimous consent that both of these articles be entered into the record.
Without objection, thank you very much, Senator, for your comments on favorably reporting the nomination.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not completed.
I'm sorry. How much more time do you need?
5 to 10 minutes.
She has the nomination before the committee.
Yes, that's what I'm prepared to talk about right now.
I hope the senator will be mindful of the other senator's time when he uses his own.
Well, I am mindful of the other senator's time. I'm also mindful that this committee spends a ton of time on things like amnesty and not time on doing our jobs. So this committee doesn't have time to look into allegations of racism, doesn't have time to look into allegations of participating in Chinese communist propaganda, doesn't have time to look into the Biden administration releasing thousands of illegal aliens with COVID, but we have time to move political activists forward to satisfy the partisan interest of Democrats in the Senate. Let's talk about this judicial nominees. President Biden's